Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the class. Today, we will start a new chapter in civics, and that is key elements of a democratic government. In the previous chapter, we have discussed about the government. What do we mean by government? What are the important functions of the government? What is the importance of government in the life of common people? Then we have also discussed the various levels of the government and various types of the government. And under this types of the government, we have discussed about the democratic government. And now, in this chapter, we will try to understand the key elements of a democratic government. What are the elements? What are the features of a government which makes it democratic? In order to be a democratic government, there must be some key elements, and we will discuss all these key elements in this chapter. And our discussion will start with uh, the discussion of South Africa, which is an African country. You can see its location in the map. And with the discussion of South Africa, we will understand one of the most important element of the democratic government, that is people's participation. So, first of all, I'm going to read the text. South Africa is a country that has people of several races. There are black people who belong to South Africa, whites who came there to settle, and Indians who came as laborers and traders. So, in this regard, first of all, you must understand the meaning of race. What is the meaning of race? रेस इट्स नॉट जो रेस तुम लोग लगाते हो बच्चे एक दूसरे के साथ दौड़ने का रेस आंसर कंप्लीट करने का रेस है ना इट्स नॉट दैट रेस वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट द रेस which means group of human being ठीक है group of people uh, who share same kind of physical qualities okay ऐसे लोगों का ग्रुप जिनके फिजिकल क्वालिटीज एक जैसे होते हैं ओके दिस इज कॉल्ड रेस सो देर आर इन साउथ अफ्रीका different people of different races lived there we can see the original people of south africa were black the it is black means the color of their skin was black okay the original people then there were white people also and these white people were british who came there who came south africa to rule over it जैसे इंडिया में we were also under the british rule before getting independence in 1947 the we were the colony of britain. In the same way, the South Africa was also a colony of Britain, and many British people who were whites. So many whites came there and they settled there. So these are the whites people. Then there were some Indians also who went there as laborers and traders. From India, these people went to South Africa as a laborer or traders. So these people from India were neither white nor black. They were called colored people. Okay. So now know about a girl, African girl, who was 11 years old, and her name was Maya Naidu. Okay, Maya Naidu, an 11-year-old South African girl living in the town of Johannesburg, was helping her mother clear up her old boxes. So, what happened that Maya Naidu was helping her mother, and this is Johannesburg is a town in South Africa. Okay, so she was living in Johannesburg, and it's a story. She was helping her mother clear up her old boxes. There were many old boxes, and her mother was cleaning the boxes, and she was helping her. She found a scrapbook full of pictures and newspaper articles. In the boxes, what she found? She found a scrapbook. You must be preparing scrapbooks during your holidays, summer vacation holidays, summer holidays, isn't it? So, in the same way, the scrapbook she found, and this scrapbook was full of pictures and newspaper articles. There were many pictures of a young schoolboy of around 15 years of age. In the scrapbook, uh, Maya saw there were many pictures of a particular young boy who was around 15 years of age. So when she saw so many pictures of the boy in the scrapbook, she asked her mother about the boys, and her mother told her that the name of the boy was Hector Peterson. The name of the boy was Hector Peterson. He had been shot by the police. Okay, this 15-year-old boy was shot by the police. Maya was shocked. Why the police will shot a 15-year-old boy? What was the reason? Her mother explained that South Africa was earlier governed by apartheid laws. So it was an old story, and now her mother is telling her the story. And in this regard, first of all, you must understand the meaning of apartheid. Apartheid means when the government differentiate between people on the basis of the race. When there is discrimination on the basis of the color of the skin, that is called apartheid. Okay, so apartheid means separation on the basis of race, or you can also write on the basis of color of the skin. South African people were divided into white, black, Indian, and colored races. Okay, so there were many different races were living in South Africa, and there was a law. According to that law, these races were not allowed to mingle with each other, to live near each other, or even to use common facilities. So, what was the apartheid law? The apartheid law was that all these races, these white, black, Indian, colored, all these races were not allowed to mingle. Mingle means they cannot mix with each other. There will not be a common place for all the races. For whites, there will be different, say, bus service is there. If the bus service is there in the country, then for white people there will be separate bus services. Then for blacks, it will be different. For colored, will be different. So they all these races were not allowed to mingle with each other. Okay, what was apartheid law? According to the law, These races were not allowed to mingle with each other, to live near each other. They cannot live also near each other. Their living place was separate. There was a colony of whites, there was a colony of blacks. So, this was the condition, this was the apartheid laws. And they were also not allowed to use common facilities. Maya could not believe her ears. Maya was not aware that in the earlier times such things were happening. Maya's mother sounded angry when she spoke about life under apartheid. When Maya's mother was telling her daughter about this separation, about this apartheid law, at that time she became very angry because she was angry with the situation which was prevailing at that time, because in this situation the original people of Africa were at a very disadvantageous position. She told Maya that in those days hospitals were separate, so were ambulances. Everything was separate. Hospitals were separate, ambulances were separate. An ambulance meant for white people would always be well equipped, while one meant for black people was not. So, why this separation was done? Why there was everything was separate? Separate ambulance, separate hospitals for whites, and separate hospitals for blacks, because whatever is there for the whites, that was of a very high quality. Services and provided by these uh, services provided to the white people were very good quality services, but the services which were provided to the black people were not good. So in case of ambulance also we can see that an ambulance which was meant for white people uh, was well equipped. It has every facility, but an ambulance which was for black people was not well equipped. There were separate trains and buses also. Even the bus stop were different from black and white people. So everything was separate. This was the situation of South Africa before 1994. In the year 1994, South Africa became an independent country. And after that, this kind of separation, this apartheid law was removed, and people started to live in an equal manner. So now you can see it here. Non-whites were not allowed to vote. In the previous chapter, we have discussed about right to vote. Now, right to vote is an important basis for the election. Election will be meaningless if all the people are not having the right to vote. And in this country, in South Africa, what we see that only whites were given right to vote. Non-whites were not allowed to vote. The best land in the country was reserved for the white people. Everything which was mm, considered to be the best, that best thing was for the white people. The best land that was reserved for the white people. And non-whites had to live on the worst available land. Thus, blacks and colored people were not considered to be equal to whites. So, what was actually the problem? The problem was inequality. The blacks and colored people were not considered to be equal to whites. There was discrimination on the basis of color of the skin. Some are considered superior, some were considered superior and some were considered inferior. Who were superiors? Whites were superiors according to the law, and blacks were inferiors. And what was the basis why this separation or discrimination was there? It was only because of color of the skin. Okay, so one black township was the southwestern township. Black township matlab the locality, a big locality where only black people were living. And one such black township was southwestern township. Hector Peterson lived here. Hector Peterson lived in southwestern Township, and he and his classmates joined the protest against learning the Afrikaans language in school. In schools, what happened? Uh, Students were taught in African language. African language was the medium of instructions in the schools, and this was the language that the whites spoke. Afrikaan was the language of the whites, and it was not the language of the blacks. What was the language of the blacks? The language of the blacks was Zulu. So Hector and other school students were being forced to learn the language of whites. They were being forced to learn Afrikaans. But uh, Hector and other school students did not want to learn a foreign language. Instead, they wanted to learn their own language, that was Zulu. So, South African police beat up the protester mercilessly because of this African language, because the medium of instruction in schools in southwestern southwestern township, the medium of instruction was African, and because of this African language, uh, Hector and his friends joined a protest. There was a protest going on in the township against the African language, and Hector and his friends joined this protest because they wanted that their medium of instruction should be Zulu language. And when they joined the protest, the South African police started beating up the protesters mercilessly. You must be seen, you must have seen in the television many times. We see this happens in the in our country also when police beat up the people who are not obeying the law or who are starting any kind of doing any kind of dharna or protest. So the police started beating up them, but it was not simply beating up. The police started shooting also, and the shooting was done at the crowd without aiming anyone. Just shooting was started by the police, and uh, one such bullet killed Hector, and this happened on 16th June 1976. So, uh, in this way, Hector was killed because of shooting by the police. The African National Congress, a group of people who led the struggle against apartheid, and their most well-known leader, Nelson Mandela, fought the apartheid system for several years. Okay, so this is also important. What was African National Congress? It was an organization. It was a political party. जैसे अपनी कंट्री में है ना, इंडियन नेशनल कांग्रेस, भारतीय जनता पार्टी, समाजवादी पार्टी, राष्ट्रीय जनता दल, all these are political party. So, in the similar way, uh, African National Congress was also a party which started the struggle against apartheid. In our country also, uh, the movement which was started against the British rule, it was done in the leadership of Indian National Congress. In the similar way, uh, the people in Africa also started their struggle, started their fight against apartheid. And in this fight, who was the leader? The leader was the African National Congress. And the most important leader of this African National Congress was Nelson Mandela. And their most well known leader, Nelson Mandela, fought the apartheid system for several years. It was not a struggle of 2 or 4 or 10 years, but it was a struggle of several years. Nelson Mandela spent 28 years of his life, 28 years of his life in jail because he was against the apartheid law of the government, and he was leading the struggle against the government. So he has to spend 28 years of his life in the jail. So this battle against the apartheid law was a very long battle, and Nelson Mandela, of course, was the leader of this battle, and the organization was African National Congress. And this battle, the battle against the apartheid law, became successful. And in 1994, on 26th April 1994, South Africa became a democratic country, okay, in which people of all races were considered equal. When South Africa became an independent country, it adopted democracy. It adopted democratic government, and the most important element of democracy is equality. Okay, so when South Africa became a democratic country after becoming independent, after becoming democratic country, all kind of apartheid law were abolished, and in the new democratic country there was no separate system for on the basis of race. There was no discrimination on the basis of race. So now we will see democratic government, what does it mean to all of us? So first of all, the first important element of a democratic government is participation. Participation means uh, People must take part in the process of government. So, how do we take part in the process of government? We take part, we do not take direct part in the participation of the government. We do not take decisions which is to be taken by the government. It's not that common people take part in the decision making process of the government. We exercise our right to vote at the time of election. Okay, so by voting in election, people use their by voting in election, people elect their representatives. We have discussed in the previous chapter what is representative. I told you now that suppose there is a monitor in your class and uh, any student is having any problem or if he or she has any complaint, then instead of uh, instead of complaining the teacher directly, the student complain the monitor, and then monitor will represent this problem of the particular student to the teacher or the principal, and in this way he is the representative of the class because he is he is he is representing the problems of the student. He is representing the interest of the student in front of the teacher, and in this way the teacher is becoming aware of the situation, and now she or he may take any decision in order to solve the problem of the student. So in this way representatives work. Whoever we elect as our representative will it is the responsibility of that representative that he will protect our interest, and these representatives uh, becomes the part of the government. They take decisions on behalf of the people, as we cannot take part in the decision making process because the population is so big. So how does we take part in the process of election, in the process of decision making? We take part in the process of decision making uh, through our representatives. The representatives take decisions on behalf of the people, and in doing so it is assumed that they will keep in mind the voices and interest of the people, है ना? They are representing the interest of the people, and they are given the work of the government. They are there to take decisions, and whenever they are taking decision, they will take decision by keeping in mind the interest and need of the people. So, in this way, people participate in the process of government. It is only through election, it is only through our right to vote that we take part in the process of government. All governments are elected for fixed period. In India, this period is 5 years. Once elected, government can stay in power only for that period. And you know, on every 5 years we have elections, and uh, whoever becomes the prime minister or the chief minister or the ministers, they are holding that post only for 5 years. After completing the 5 years, they again have to come to the people in order to get their vote. So, uh, mm, mm, people are very much important for the leaders. If they, suppose they are elected by the people for 5 years, and during these 5 years, if the leaders have not worked according to the need of the people, according to the interest of the people, then what will happen that when after 5 years these leaders will go to the people for in order to get their votes, what will happen, the people will not give their vote to these leaders who have not worked according to the need of the people. Now they will give their vote to some other leader. So in this way, what happens that the political leaders are compelled to work according to the interest of the people. They cannot ignore the interest of the people, because they know that if they don't take care of the needs and problems of the people, if they take decisions without considering the needs of the people, without considering the interest of the people, then they will not be able to be in that position. They will not be able to win the election in next time. So what they do, they always uh, work according to the interest of the people, and this is the most important element of democracy. So today we have discussed up to this point, and now we will discuss further in the next class.